Hello to hold on a second. There. Welcome. This is Becker. What was that? And I have to change a few things. First of all, welcome to another episode of Zero, number 162, titled Shulkers and then Tweaks. Secondly, I am still feeling a little sick. It's been 2 weeks. I should have done another episode before today, and I would have done an episode about a week ago if I hadn't taken sick suddenly on Friday night, on the 20-something or other. And so I don't sound as good as I might, but for the most part I'm okay. If push comes to shove, I may have to sign off quickly and quit the stream early, which I do only when I absolutely have to. So I'm going to try to continue as normal to what extent I can, but do not expect my voice to be better. All right. Well, first of all, let's figure out what went wrong with the jade thing. What do I press here? I barely remember how to play the game. All right, here we go. I pressed 0, and 0 is what did it. That should not have done it. There it is. Bloop. Show overlay. Toggle fluid. And narrate. Alright, so I should be able... There we go. And then I press tab and it should toggle, but it doesn't have to toggle. Okay. Okay, the one thing I was surprised at was... It says here, Fortune Hoe to increase sapling rate when breaking leaves. I didn't know about that. I was wondering why I was carrying this thing around. Increase sapling rate when breaking leaves. Okay. Now this is an old mods needed list. Deep slate tweaks. Inventorio. Probably also flat bedrock. Oh, so many things happened since last episode that it's kind of confusing the hell out of me. First of all, we have Jade. We have Iris. We have a bunch of animals. I can't zoom in on anything, so we don't have zoom, Z-U-M-E. We might be able to get W-T-H-I-T. No, wait, that's not this. The W-I zoom mod. We might be able to get that working. But I want to do Z-U-M-E. Anyway, the point is, I updated this thing. We're now on 1.21.5. And immediately what happened? I optimized the world, and then suddenly all these animals appeared everywhere, all over the place, and they're just stuck here. Maybe if they get on the land, they'll be okay. I don't know. But the simple truth of the matter is, I don't know what I'm doing here. It's a real mess. This day is not a day where a lot's going to happen. I wanted to play more of. I wanted to play another episode of 7, but no, I'm sorry, not 7. Hold on, I got a cough. Hold on. What's the button so I can cough here? The button to mute everything is this button. Every single time I get better, I'm like, woo, or shoo, we dodged a big one. And I gotta cough again. This time I am not going to say this, but this time it felt like it might have been the last. It might have been the very end. And I'd have had to do a live stream or a video in which I said goodbye. Or tried to say goodbye. But I got better, mostly. Still have a cough. Taking some lozenges for that. not in the best of health, but I'm trying. I'm trying my best. A whole bunch of crazy things have happened, and oh, how many feathers do I got? About, I want to say somewhere around Tuesday or Wednesday, I felt, whenever the hell it was this place updated to 1.21.5, I said, we got to update my map, and I got to do a video on it. I didn't know when I was going to get better, you see. And so I didn't get better. Right now, let's just do this. Anyway, so as I was saying, I have Jade. I'm still saying Jade. Iris and Sodium. There we go. Here's what it looks like with Sodium on and Iris on. It looks mostly fine. Except for that. And we got some serious lag. Yeah, I want those, and so we're not going to do that. We're going to just have this. We don't have Distant Horizons. They're working on it. And Space Builder, and this is what happened. This was the other thing that was happening last week, over the last week. Space Builder 2020 came back and said, look, we've got a Distant Horizons thing working with 1.7. And I was all frantic about that. I was like, "Oh no, we gotta get that working." I was unable to compile it. Me and Ovmo both wanted it, and so Space Builder made it available, and it is now indeed available. But I still can't get it to work. If I had, I'd been playing it now, actually. So we're doing this. I just spent all that time getting everything back where it was. And we're working on this. How much do we got left to do here? Yeah. Tons and tons of stuff. We'll work on that when we get back. We're going. We're going somewhere. We're going into the end. I don't know why there's just a whole bunch of these guys just sitting around here. They just appeared in midair and then they just fell down. And that's the other thing. I really do not like that I can't see very far into the distance. And I do not, there's no Distant Horizons. Just a bunch of things wrong. But that's what happens. You get a new version. I just added Shulker Box Tooltip just like a half hour ago. Left shift view contents, there it is. I like that, I like seeing this, and I don't like when they're empty. Yes, we're going into the end, and the reason we're going into the end is because I noticed a huge discrepancy. I was just in the end earlier to get my stuff sharpened, which I did. I don't know what the hell. There have been a couple of... Yeah, some mods are just not updated yet. It's very early in this thing. So we're just going to go now. We should have everything we need. End portal. Donators and remembrance. Oh, that reminds me. Taco, Minecraft. Let's bring him back. Let's bring him back. Ah. Okay. You're back. You're back in the donators. Ooh, what happened here? That's horrible. Do you suppose this problem is caused by... No, I don't know what it is. Something vanilla, I imagine. Alright. Well, I might as well just go into the end portal. No sense in delaying it. Welcome back once again to the end. And oh, that reminds me, I need to put this on. Everything is back as it once was. Now, you've seen in the LOTR map, you've seen what the end looks like there. I want something like that here. Why is that like that? Why is that even there? What even is that? I don't know why that was there. We got room over here to put it? Yes. Alright, so what we're going to do is we're going to work out some of the parameters, if we can, where everything is going to go and where we're going to put little floor areas. Now, the other thing is we have to calculate whether we're going to need to move, yes, I said move, this whole thing. This is, see, well, this is off, of course. It's chunk relative of 0 and 1, so... Well, let's go up here. We'll try to see what this looks like. And this looks wrong, too. Look at that. Look at the 2 on that side. 1 on that side. Ugh. Right. And I believe this is either 63 or 64. I'm going to have to look it up. It's 63. Okay, so... So this, therefore, is 49. This is 49. We're gonna have to mark some with signs here. We're gonna set this up over here. No, we need another one, don't we? Alright, so this is... We gotta put it somewhere here. Y equals 49. Alright. And then up here, y equals 63. Before we get started working up here, we gotta calculate where everything's gotta be put. What's this? I think the original idea was that this was gonna go underneath, I miscalculated. Alright, so next we're going to need, now this right here would be an ideal place to put some of the things we'd like to have in here. As soon as I could find it, this stuff. But we'll do that at some other point in time. We can't do that right now. What we need to do, first of all, let's remove everything. Don't need silk touch, and we definitely don't want a sharpness sword. This will help, I think. I may also want to get rid of the shovel. Don't know yet. Well, right now we're working on this idea that we have, that we can put something together. We're gonna just start off simply, really. Just start off simply. First, I need sapling. No, Saplings. Sapling. We got saplings. Okay. And we need dirt. Okay. And this is completely wrong. I might want to change that. So what we'll do first... First we gotta look around the place a bit. How big is the place? Where is everything? The first and most important thing is we don't want there to be an area above this. It looks wrong. It is wrong. That's up here. We need to flatten that out. Then we need to decide how far we're going to flatten it in this direction. Alright, this looks rather funny. Let's see what we got here. We'll head back as necessary. Alright, so what we'll do first is... Alright, so this is as far out as it's going to go. Yeah, we don't have a regular mining, a special mining thing like Digus Maximus or any of that. What we've got is the tree chopper one and the ore excavation, not ore excavation, the two Cirilla mods. Okay, now this might be the maximum. Let's see what we got here. Excuse me. Alright, so as we know, this is 0, 0. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 10, 11, 12, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 22, 24, 26, 28, 30, 32, 34, 36. What do you think, 20? 25? I think 25 would be a good number. Maybe 16? I forgot what we did in the other version of the game. Well, I think what would be best at this point is let's just break everything. Let's just get this straightened out. The more we get done in one day, the better it'll be for me. Need to make some space. Need to place some trees, stuff like that. But first we gotta start by seeing what we got for space for everything else. Alright, let's say it's 25. So if it were 25, then it would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, 9, 11, 13. That's not too bad. I don't remember what we were doing. Was it going... I wanted to look at the other map, but I didn't get a chance to. Alright, so then what we could do is we could do 25 in this direction. 2, 3, 4, 5. Alright, where was I? 1, 2, 3. 11, 13, 15, 17, 19, 21, 23, 25. Right. Alright, so from here, and that should be 25. 5, 12, 9. That's correct. All right. We're making progress here. It's not the best progress, but it's more progress than we would otherwise have expected. But we gotta flatten this area so that we can plant trees right away. Even though that's not where we're going to eventually plant all the trees. Let's see if we can get this to work. I love doing that. Yeah, this is what we call easy mode because I'm recuperating from illness. That's all that it is. Don't worry anybody, as I plan on getting better. If I don't get better, I'll do another video and say I'm sorry, but I'm dying. Because nobody's going to announce that I'm dying. If I should die, nobody's going to announce it. Yeah, I think it was 25 distance, but I've really forgotten. I just gotta be really careful. Oh! What happened here? I must have broken that one. It might be important. This is this. This is something I should have done a long time ago. I haven't forgotten about what's going on with the with the LOTR map. I just can't work on it today. I want to do something that I want to do. If my legacy is to waste time with this, and if I should like die tomorrow or something, then that's what I will have done, and I'm that's just how it's gonna be, really. Yeah, I remember you guys doing this before. Okay. Yeah, 25 sounds about right. I don't know if it is, but had worse happen to me. I guess I'll look at it. I'll look at the LOTR map off camera or something some other day. Yeah, it seems alright. Perfect. Okay. So that's the perimeter if we decide to do a square-shaped perimeter. And we're not done with these square shape yet, so we gotta finish that. It goes in the square hole. Excuse me. Yes, I said excuse me. It's the flattening is the tough part here. Alright, well, you know, it's a start. I don't know what I'm doing. I spent previous episodes of Zero just going around trying to find where we're gonna put that railway, and we're gonna have to revamp everything. We want to revamp, rehaul the whole railway situation. It's all crooked and complicated, and so we definitely want to work on fixing all that. This would have been so... Oh, I thought there was a turtle there, and I thought... it's a green sign. Alright, this should be enough. He says it should be enough. It's not enough, of course. It never is. Dun, 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 dun. There we go. But now we gotta decide what we're gonna do about this, because this probably should not be here. We're going to try to make everything make more sense. And so let's go downstairs first of all. Okay, so that's the level of that. Yeah, see, there's the bedrock. And this is below it. So we've got the space that's 3 height. And that's 4 height. So yeah. This should be 4 lower, and therefore it should be 63 minus 4. Or 59. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Well, whatever it is. Anyway, now that we got this all set up, we gotta work on this. Two, 3. Oh, yeah, wait a minute. Alright, so we'll do this. This might not work. But that should allow us to have more of the wood we're going to need, so that's good. Next we have to work out some more details. Like, for example, that 25 goes out to here. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 25. 25 goes out to here. Okay, then 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20, 1, 3, another 20, and it's right there, so that's pretty good. And so that's where the regular, these are the stairs that we built the first time. Alright, let's see what we got here. There we go. Now we can see some changes. Yeah, I see. What the hell happened there? Something going on over there. I gotta look at that one. To the left. Oh, it's just that thing. Okay, yeah, that's fine. Alright, so what we need to do here is we need to check this. That's going to be 25, 50, 25, 85, yeah, it looks like we might be able to do it. We just have to make sure we cover that up. I'm not sure if this is a bigger or a smaller end island than what we've had elsewhere, but we definitely should consider that. Okay, now the other thing is, as you can see, we've got two railways. This one goes to our ender farm, and the other one goes all the way across, and I don't like that. That goes all the way across and into the far end of everything. I want it to just be one of these. It just goes out there and then it stops. And then we could go beyond that. But unfortunately, the way we've set that up is we set it up there. We'll need to move it off to the side. And I think we may also need to move it off a further distance than this. And we may need to lower it. And the reason we're going to need to lower it is because it's just... This isn't, like I said, this is 49. We need to go down to 0, but it's not going to go down to 0, is it? So we got to figure out here. That's why we got to do everything. We got to know these things. To know these things is to have figured it out. Excuse me. Excuse me. Now I want to have some of these up here. Let's clear a space and we'll do something over here with this. This is a much more compact island, I think, but it looks like it's much more solidly constructed than the one we had for LOTR. You know what I kind of wanted to do? I kind of want to play Big Globe, but we won't be doing that. All right, so first 2, 3. You have one of these here. Alright, so this will be where we'll just put everything else for now. But after this, we're going to have to figure out where to put everything else. I mean, we don't know what to do. I may decide to do something hexagonal instead of... I got to take a drink. There was one big problem about having to take a drink. When you're ill, you got a sore throat, you gotta take a drink. Alright, well, let's just continue flattening everything, I guess. It's just all we can really do at this point. Is try to flatten the whole thing. Okay. So, the story of how I got sick. What is the story of how I got sick? Well, unfortunately, there isn't a story of how I got sick. About 2 weeks ago, I'd started using a chainsaw in the backyard. I believe I talked about it in my last live stream. And I was all excited to talk about it. And that doesn't mean I had more exposure outside or anything like that, but I just started feeling worse. I never found out why that was. I must have just come down with something that somebody had who was in my local restaurante that I normally visit. Just something was catching. I caught it from somebody. And that's just how it goes, I guess. And then just... And like the last time I was this sick... Last time I was this sick was in 2020. March or so, or maybe it was April. I think it was March of 2020. In the middle of the beginnings of COVID, driving everybody crazy that there's the people that they did not kill. And when I had what I had, I thought I had COVID. And I was terrified. And I didn't have COVID, and I was really happy. But yeah, there was 1 or 2 days where I just felt so awful, and I wasn't even sure if I was having breathing problems or if it was just a sinus issue, or it was some really bad day. And so yeah, came down with a really bad illness, and I thought could be a really bad flu. It could be COVID, and I was worried, but nope, not COVID. But I am sick, and I've been slow to get better. Oh, and I have to say something. Pasta has been ill about the same time that I have. I don't know what Pasta had, but you know, you worry about Pasta too. Even if whatever, it's just. Wonder if he came down with the same thing that I had. I haven't talked to him about it. It's not too important to talk about the illness, but I just... Because I feel a lot better than I did. Except for my bad back. You know, you get a bad back and then you're like, I cannot sleep in a bed when my back is this bad. And yes, this happened once before. It wasn't 2020, but it was like 2022, where I was a little sick and I felt my back hurt so badly I could not lay down. I had to sit down in my chair. And that's how these things happen. It's like you tend to hallucinate funny when you're trying to get your sleep in a chair. Yeah, I literally cannot remember if it was a 25 off the center or if it was 50 off the center. I'm going to have to look that up, unfortunately. So we'll just flatten out what we can now and just not go too far out, and we'll see what happens. Huh? Oh, I screwed up. This is off. Yeah, so I lost about a week of... I've lost about a week's worth of work in the backyard, and although it did a lot of raining, and now we've had at least one day in 70-degree weather, and it's going to be a lot harder to get the work done in the backyard that needs to be done. And I'm also going to have to spend first week or two of April preparing for doing more activities, and these activities have nothing to do with this, and that can't be changed. If I'm too sick, then that has to be it still has to be done. So yeah, there's just so much being done here. This is just not a good situation for me. So I just gotta work harder and harder and harder and harder, and it's probably gonna kill me. And you know how my psychosomatic feelings go about things. Yeah, I really don't know if we want to have this staircase here. Really don't know. It would be a good idea if we didn't. That's all I could say. All right, let's see if we can get this to work. I think it's shift. Yeah. Good. Oh! Just see the... There it is. Leaves falling. Some of these sounds are quiet. Why is that sound quiet and the other sounds are not quiet? Maybe there's music and sounds. Nope. Ambient 100%. Well, I don't know what to say. That's a short one. That's probably why I cut that. It's because it was a short one. Oh, we don't have carry-on working right now either. If we had carry-on, we'd take that and we'd move it. Definitely take that and move it. I mean, hey, carry-on, right? You gotta do that. Yeah, see, what's over here? Get ourselves a, yeah, this is more like what we had. More like what we had. It's not what we have, it's what we had. I'm doing pretty well, I guess. Yeah, everything is busted. We don't have no chat reports working. Don't have distant horizons working. Oh, I wanted to check on how's Iris doing? Oh yeah, Iris is I guess it's okay. What happened there? Oh, have I been clearing that one out? If so, I should have a, whatchamazit, Should have a ladder up there. Ladder? 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 There's no ladder. That doesn't make any sense. Why would it not have a ladder? Here we go, 96. Now, we're not at 96. We're at 63. And it's not going to go all the way down anyway. But we need to work out where everything is going to happen. Now, we can't just dig straight down from here. But we should probably set something up somewhere. Where we could dig down, and then from there we can calculate where the ending of everything is. But we aren't prepared for that yet. And because this isn't a very good place to put this stuff. Maybe we should just put it back in the other place. Yeah, you know what? That would make more sense. Let's just dump everything. Putting everything up here is a disaster, but putting everything down there is also a disaster. You... Another thing we gotta do, yeah, we're gonna have to do that too. We need more torches. Oh, what happened here? I haven't finalized all these corridors and stuff in here. We haven't figured any of that out. How did you get down here? Yeah, we gotta calculate a whole bunch of things. And whatever we build, we have to build it without the coordinates. Remember, we were using coordinates for LOTR, and here we do not have coordinates. We do not even understand what we have going at all anyway. Right. Okay, so what we need now is we need to chop down more trees. Alright, how are we going to do this? This is annoying as hell. Nope, that's not it. I can't figure it out. There's something wrong with this. This sound is just not good enough or something. I don't know. It's one of those moments. Maybe. Nope. It's just quiet, I guess. I don't know. Alright, well, still finishing this top area. If anybody had rather I'd waited until it was that I have a proper digging mod so as to get more at once in horizontal layers or tunnels or whatever. And it's like no. We have to work with what we have. We can't just wait because something might happen. You know, otherwise I'd be waiting all the time for improved for improved stacks, and I cannot wait for improved stacks. We have to play .5 the way the cards are played, and that's it. Anybody does not like that, and yesterday I just got rid of a mod. I just got rid of a mod yesterday. It caused a crash. Deals with mending and what mending heals or fixes damaged tools and such like, and that one mending mod is supposed to work on all the tools that you have in your inventory and things like that, and it just didn't. It crashed, and so I was like, forget it. So what we need to do is we need to remove this, and we need to also remove the rail, because there's no point in having a rail there. We're not going to have a rail anymore. But what we have to do is we have to decide to fill this in, and then we have to have an alternative means of getting up here. We don't have that yet. We have a number of things to do. We are not going to do that sort of thing right off the bat. This is really just figuring out where everything is going to go. And a number of other things to do. Okay, we now have a flat 50 by 50 area, or rather 51 by 51 area. And so what we need to do is to flatten the rest of all that out in that direction. But meanwhile, things are different here. We don't have vertical slabs. We don't have regular slabs either. Oh, we don't have REI. There's no REI. So we have no way of knowing what we can make here. Let's see, do this. And so that should be able to make some slabs. We'll do that probably. No, wait. No, it's this one. It's this one. These are necessary. The other ones are not necessary. But that's not necessary right now. There we go. What we need to do is we need to dig downwards somewhere. As low as we can, and if necessary... Well, I don't know what's necessary. One, two, three, four... I don't know what we're doing. Alright, so maybe we can dig down there. I don't know. We gotta make a layer below this one. And in the layer below this one, we're going to probably put all of our all the seeds and stuff. And set that stuff up downstairs. So let's see. There we go. Now we can just keep looking in the direction that we have this going in. Like we can just keep looking, see what's in various places. It's not going to be perfect. Here we go. A complete and near perfect square, but from here we need to... Is this 0? Yeah, I think this is 0. Just keep traveling in a straight line until we get to the edge. Uh-oh. Oh, wait a minute. Why did the obsidian stop here? Yeah, something funny happened, and I don't know what it was. And this is, of course, where it breaks down. And this is perfectly fine. But why did the obsidian stop there? Oh, that's the... That's not an obsidian pillar. That's the spawn area. Yeah. Alright, fine. Yeah, we want to have a big giant area to store things. Place to put more trees. I gotta cough again. Excuse me a second. Okay, here we go. And I'm wearing a hat. I almost never wear a hat when recording. What were we doing again? I think we're building. Well, the first and most important thing is we have to put up a wall over here somewhere. This is where we'll have to put it. Something like here. 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20. 4, 26, 28, 30, 36, 38, 40, 42, 44, 46, 48, 50, 2, 4, 6, 8, 60. That's not enough. So maybe we'll have to try to get one going in the other direction or something. I don't know yet. Up, damn it. Well, the important thing. Oh, great. You'll have to pardon me. This is how it's going to go. What was I saying now? I forgot what I was saying. Something about something or other. Yeah, I really can't just say let's cut this off, or let's block that off until we have a ladder going down there. And we can't say let's move this blah 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 until such and such has been moved back. And how far are we going to make the area? We have to look at the other maps and everything else. And yeah, it'll have to be done. So we'll just be working on this for now. Won't take too long. Another thing is we don't have to do this anymore because we could just kill them down there. So this Oh. I'm an idiot. Excuse me. That was a relic from when we first destroyed in the end. And what's going on there? Something happened up there, and I don't have the... I guess the idea is that we could break all of these, but if we do that, we've got to break all the... Do we really need that many obsidian for anything? Do we need any obsidian right now? And I really must exhibit doubts that we need the obsidian. But if we do, that would be great. Alright, well, we're making progress. We've done the 51 by 51 area that we'll probably be doing. Oh, I could have cut that. Right. All the Cerulean mods, most of them have updated, a couple of them have not, and I need to keep looking to see if they update. There's just a few mods, you know, it's just, it happens. As I used to complain about that. I used to write to him and send him a message. Oh, you forgot to update the blah 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 mod. But then he would say, oh, well, that's because of something, something, something. And I realized that if I don't care so much about a mod, that I should want to know that if I don't care so much about a mod that it's going to... that I really care to find out why it doesn't work. I mean, I figure he knows what he's doing. I mean, that's the whole trick, is he does know what he's doing. He's the one modder that I have the greatest respect for, because he's virtually automated everything. Really knows what he's doing. And if a mod doesn't work, well, he'll get to it. And if he doesn't get to it, then we could probably do without the mod, you know? I wouldn't worry too much. About his mods. I really worry about the other mods, the ones that don't get updated. There's a faster ladder mod. I don't remember which one it is, but it worked. But now it doesn't work. Zoom. Z-U-M-E, that's not working. You know, it's just, these things pile up after a while, but we have to, this is the zero map. We're not supposed to rely upon all these mods to do all these things. If we're upset that we can't dig 500 blocks at once, then we're playing the wrong map. Oh, crap. Didn't want to do that one. So we're at the 1 hour 18 mark. Ah. All right, that's for that. Righto. That is quiet, though. There's probably a reason for it being quiet, even if I don't know that reason. Yeah, I don't know what the design of this place is going to be like. For LOTR, I had an idea almost right away because we had vertical slabs for everything. But now we don't have vertical slabs for everything, and so it does kind of change things a little bit here and there. It's just how it is. All right. See how that works. All right. See how we're doing. It's not perfect. Still thinking about this. Maybe what we could do is something other than squares. Maybe this time maybe we can have straight lines between these, and that goes out to there, and then we have another section after that. But then it has to be a circle, and I don't want to deal with circles, especially where Minecraft is concerned. Oh crap, I left my sword behind. How am I supposed to kill these guys? Alright, let's try that again. I have to take my stupid sword. Okay. Take your stupid sword with. Here we go. Yeah, see, this being in the middle of just goes this way. It's just like blur. That's no good. We need that somewhere else. Alright. What are you gonna do about all them basketballs and stuff? No, just leave them lying around somewhere. Probably. Okay, another thing that we're going to need to do. We want to fight to get more shulker boxes. We took 2 shulker boxes with us because, well, I didn't have a reason to do that. But what we're going to need to do is we're going to need to go back there and to get more shulker boxes. Take them home. Because what we're going to do is we're going to start using them for storage. Like in a chest, you know, in a chest we've got this many slots. And so what we have is an extra slots that we need. So if we were to, let's say, for example, fill this up. And then what we could do is we could use a shulker box to put up another 27 slots for these. So it would be, you know, so 27 slots. What we would do is we'd put one there, and it would use up 1 slot, so it would actually be just 26 more slots. But then we could just keep adding them. And we only weren't doing that because we didn't have very many shulker boxes, but now we have access to a lot of them. We can start doing that. Now, I was going to do that on camera, but I want to finish digging up here first. Got to flatten this top area here, no matter how long it's going to take. So, how's everybody been? You can tell me if you've been sick too lately. There has been something going around, I could just tell. I'm not the only one that I know has been sick, like I said. But there are other people who everybody's acting like they're fine. I don't know. I think sickness, although there are people who have sickness and there are people who do not have sickness, I think that some of the people who do not have sickness are acting a certain way. They're acting a little different. I think that there's a little craziness going on. People tend not to have madness sickness of some kind, but there does seem to be something that does happen. I don't really know what to say. Don't know what we could really say about this, except well, we'll see what we can get. But yeah, anyway, so I mean, right now, it's not just the United States, but there are lots of countries in the world that have this sickness going on. A madness kind of sickness. Politically, and it has to be said other things. Don't really know what to say about it. I dislike talking about politics, so I'll avoid it, but the politics is the most obvious manifestation of craziness I've ever seen in my entire life. And I've seen a lot of craziness in my life. With other people, I mean. And there's 2 different kinds of it. There's 2 different kinds of madness going on. I'm not going to tell you the other one, but yeah, there's 2 different kinds of madness. I've never seen anything just so coordinated, so so messed up. I think I can tell who's behind this, ultimately. Seems rather obvious. But you see, that person is not behind the craziness in the sense of that we know that he is responsible for things being crazy. There is crazy, yes, but it's so different. I don't really have a way to put this. Really don't know what to say here. Let's just leave it at that. Let's just leave it at that and say things are bad all over, and you know it. You know things are bad all over. Well, we're almost at the 1 hour 30-minute mark. Things are going well. In that sense. If there's one thing I hate, it's wanting to tell people about how bad things are and not being able to tell people how bad things are. Oh, they know how bad things are, but that's not the problem. Wanting to tell people how bad things are in a different sense than just merely saying things are bad. Very bad. I don't know. I really don't know what to say. It's. I never said I was better than politics, but I've always been saying that I don't want politics to mess me up. But you know what? Politics has messed me up too. I'm not for any particular side, but I'm for the craziness coming to an end, or anti the craziness continuing, or something like that. And about the only way that we can get those things to happen is things must be done that are not going to be done. So I don't know. Maybe it's a hopeless cause. We should just ignore it. Just to say, well, we tried our best to just let things go bad. Oh, that's the defeatist attitude. That is. Anyway, we're not going to talk about that. We're going to talk about Minecraft. I really like Minecraft. It kind of goes without saying, but it kind of is true, you know. Minecraft is such a wonderful thing in so many ways. And it's amazing that we don't really think about it. There was a time before Minecraft existed. And the world was so different back then. And just like somebody was talking about YouTube recently, saying it started in 2005. I don't know when it really started, but that could be correct. What do I know? And YouTube was such a great idea when it first existed. And there's people saying, oh yes, YouTube's been around so long. that there are people who weren't. There are people who were born after it happened, and so on and so on. We could go on about that, but the point is, they don't know what they said. The guy said they don't know what the internet was like before YouTube, and you know what? He's right. YouTube is a very different sort of place. A different sort of internet. But there were video sites before YouTube. It just they were extremely limited. And the reason they were extremely limited was because there was no way to keep a website like YouTube financially viable. Even today, nobody understands how it happens. YouTube is making money, but I don't know how they're making that money. They just are. I don't know what to say here. Gonna have this area flattened. And then once it's flattened, then we're basically done with the episode because we can't do any more about this area until I've double checked the sizes for things. Yeah, so what happened was we had the stack mod running for this thing for 121.4 while I had cleared out the entire mountain or hill behind the school. I don't remember if I've shown anybody that. It's been cleared out except on one side. I'd have to look at the last episode to see if I mentioned it. I'm pretty sure I didn't show it, so I may have just mentioned it. But what happened was I was using the stat. Hold on a second. Here we go with this again. Okay. So I had the stack mod going, and I had everything set up. I had tons and tons of chests. I still have those chests, and I had to fill up every chest. I filled up a bunch of chests, and then I realized I'm gonna have to update to 1.21.5, which just updated, which Minecraft just updated to it. So I was like, oh no. And of course that means get rid of the stack mod. And then before I do that, I have to move everything over. So I had to put in more chests, and I eventually got them all done. It's all done now. But what an amount of chests these things are, and it's just going to keep getting worse and worse. So yeah, we're going to have to start using, though this is just absolutely ridiculous, we're going to have to start using more and more shulker boxes for these things. Well, yeah, the problem is the shulker boxes are only 27 slots. I need them to be like 54 slots. Yeah, I think 25 is a good number. 25 is a good number, and on the 25th one we can have it go out with slabs. We're gonna make some slabs out of end stone, and just the entire edge of the square will be slabs, so we won't have a problem there. I think we've done it. I think we've flattened the whole thing. Maybe there's more over here. Okay, what have we got here? This is 15. So we go over here and we check to see what those are at. That's 15. Are these 15 or 14? I think these are 14. Yeah. So those are good. We're done. All we have to decide now is, do we want everything to be level, completely level, or do we just want it to go down every 25, go down 1 meter every 25? Because that's what this is about. And we have to decide what to do with that, like I said. Not 100%. Alright, so let's see. If we're doing 25, that's if we're doing 25, we would need to do, let's see, it's 51. So the answer is 200, which means 100. So we should be able to do this. Oh, but we're short by a couple, so we gotta add a couple more here. Add 4 more, I think. That kind of thing. But we're not going to do that right now because after all we are we have to get going. I'm still not feeling too good, you know. It's like I feel much better than I did, but you know, it's one of those, this has to be done, that has to be done. Number of things have to be done, and so these other things that have to be done are going to have to be done at some other point in time. Let's get this show on the road here. First, to put those in there. Diamond sword needed. Diamond pickaxe needed. Diamond axe not needed, I think. Right, so we need to take ladders. I'd like to take some of these too, actually. Alright, got an entire 9 basketballs. Alright, let's go. I need to take home some... I don't even know if this one works. I might fall to my death. Let's see what happens. No, this is good. Just be very careful. Oh dear, I don't like this. That's if I want to go back that way instead of taking the this. I want to see if there was anything over here that might help me in some way. I don't need a water bucket though. You see, I've got myself a carved pumpkin. Water bucket not needed. But this map is insane because it goes all over the place and it goes this way, it goes that way. And this is a weird situation. Here we go. Looks more terrifying than it is, you know. Down, please. Down, please. Down, please. Thank you. That looks weird. Didn't drop any. Why didn't they drop any? There's a little too many going on here. Yeah, get me out of here. And just like that, we have 9... Whoops. Just like that, we have 9 more shulker boxes. Just like that. And we got extra stuff we could take. Oh, no, wait. We got 10 extra shulker boxes. I left one behind. That was the problem. So I didn't need this stuff after all, huh? I think I'm forgetting. Maybe I need it. Maybe I need, I really don't know. All right, let's see what we got. Yeah, there we go. Told you so. Nice. Nice, 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 nice. Yes, and that's just the simplest part of it, you know. Now we can have plenty of them, and we will have more and more of them as time goes on. What was over here? Oh, we saw that. What? We have nothing in that direction. This is kind of weird. It might be a better idea if we worked out where we were going to have any more walls on this floor or something like that. But having an entire downstairs, that's just the... like I said, we haven't worked out the details here, because how far are we going to have everything sticking out? You know, this has been flattened. Excuse me. This has been flattened out here, but that's not the problem. Yeah, I'm just going to have to look at everything all over again. And then we can have some kind of idea as to where everything will go. And then we'll just have... We'll have some kind of idea. This time I don't want the Lord of the Rings mod... Or not Lord of the Rings. The LOTR map. Because it's actually Middle-earth mod. I don't want it to say, okay, we'll just have this go out to here like we did before. This time I want to have the building on the inside. The bit underneath this will be on the inside of the structure instead of on the outside of the middle of the structure. But we've got so much to do about that it's just not very viable right now, really. Look at all that damage. So much damage. I'm gonna have to clean this baby up here. so much to do, so much to change these things. It'll all get done. And I'm always saying it'll all get done because it always does get done. It just takes a while sometimes, you know. It took us months and months and months to figure out about the school, and I'm still not done with the school area, and I still have to put in the desks and everything. And we got Enderman heads. We got Shulker heads with an older one with 13 components. This is one heck of a crazy. This whole thing is just as crazy as anything else. Alright, so we got a few more minutes. Let's try and figure out what we're going to do here. Alright, so this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Come on. Yep. This one just goes on and on. Whoa. Five, 7, 9, 12. 14, 16, 18, 22, 4, 6, 8, 32, 4, 6, 8, 42, 4, 6, 8, 52, 4, 6, 8, 62, 4. This is enough on this side. So we have something. This is enough finally. We've made sure of that. And I just want to say thank you guys for watching. It's been a wild and crazy episode for somebody who's been feeling very sick and is starting to feel better, and it's like I'm very grateful for those of you who watched all the way to the end of this thing. Remember that it's always nice to be there for your friends if they're sick, and it's difficult to do that in this internet era, you know. You know, it's like nobody knows exactly where I live, and I don't know where they live exactly. You know, get some idea about Minecraft, but I don't know his exact address, and I don't need to know his exact address because I can never travel there anyway. And the same thing applies to Taco Redneck, and if we find out anything about the others, you know, so-and-so lives in such and such place, you know, it's nice, but it's like at the same time, we really can't be there for each other for the most part when we're sick. And I think I'm often more sick than they are. So that's just how that goes. So I want to just thank you all for watching, and we'll see you next time. Remember, kids, get better. Get better and enjoy life while you still can. Thank you.